I want to ask you about another Big Ten team because Indiana looked really, really good tonight.
It did.
Against Maryland,
Yeah.
playing without Xavier Johnson.
Right.
But to me, that says everything we need to know about Maryland and very much less about this Indiana team and what they are this year.
Well, because Indiana hasn't played well really all year. And they've snuck by a bunch of bye games for the most part, obviously, in New York. They looked okay. Not great, but, almost lost to Louisville. Khalil Ware has been great. And to be honest, that's, I think, the most encouraging thing is that Khalil Ware continues to do this, not against the armies of the world in the Florida Gulf Coast, which you knew at 7 foot he was going to be able to do, but now he's doing it against Julian Reese and some good front court guys. They still didn't make many threes. They were 3 for 9 from 3. But you know what? At least they know only to take 9. They're not a good three-point shooting team, so you know what? Don't take a ton. What Maryland didn't understand was they were 2 for 16 from 3. They kept jacking them and missing them. So that was kind of the difference in this one. No Xavier Johnson. Listen, here's what it says. Here are the teams that Maryland has beaten so far. Mount St. Mary's, UMBC, South Alabama, and Rider.
So what's
Those are
wrong?
their 4 wins.
What is wrong with this Maryland team, and is it something that can be turned around?
They're young. They're young in some key spots where Kevin Willard was hoping they would be better. And then they're not getting – Jordan Geronimo didn't do anything. Dante Scott didn't do anything. I mean, the trio of Geronimo, Scott, and Jamie Kaiser was 1 for 17 tonight. It puts a lot on Jameer Young, puts a lot on Julian Reese. And the front court of Indiana is its strength. And they went zone tonight. And I think that certainly affected Maryland. I mean, again, you see it, 2 for 18 from 3.
It's
2 for 16. I'm sorry.
It's weird to me to watch this Maryland team, and
different though. Last year they had no expectations.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah, but it's still the Kevin Willard team, and the Kevin Willard teams that I'm used to watching when they're at Seton Hall are teams that
it took time to build that culture, Rob.
No, it did.
You're not going to flip a culture immediately at Maryland.
But it felt like they had that culture there last year. It didn't feel like this was a team.
But maybe it was never really there. Maybe it was just like a change from Turge to Willard. No expectations. Nobody was giving them any credit. Remember, they came out of the gates. They played well. You get your confidence up. You get your swagger. And then there were some changes, right? I mean, Akeem Hart leaves. He transfers to Villanova. Mm-hmm. The dynamics are a little different. You bring in these freshmen that have high expectations. I love Jamie Kaiser. I love him. I think he's a really good shooter. But, again, got to figure it out within this group.
Yeah. I'm surprised by what this.
Of course. I think
everybody
is.
Team has been.
They're a top 5 disappointment in the country right now, per our expectations. So I think most people figured, okay, they'd be a tournament team. Because, again, they were last year, and they feel like they have more talent this year.